I think that allowing for the book being, after all, a parody, something like 1984 could actually happen. This is the direction the world is going in at the present time. In our world, there will be no emotions except fear, rage, triumph, and self-abasement. The sex instinct will be eradicated. We shall abolish the orgasm. There will be no loyalty except loyalty to the party. But always there will be the intoxication of power. Always, at every moment, there will be the thrill of victory, the sensation of trampling on an enemy who is helpless. If you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. The moral to be drawn from this dangerous nightmare situation is a simple one. Don't let it happen. It depends on you.
What's going on, everyone? It's Nina Infinity. Welcome to my channel on this Wednesday. This is Breaking the Narrative, and we have so much to talk about tonight. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. We are simulcasting on Rumble as well, and the link for the Rumble thing is in the description, so you want to be checking out Rumble as well, because tonight we're going to be talking PG stuff, YouTube acceptable stuff for the first little while. And then we're going to go to Rumble exclusively and talk real adult talk where we can actually, have a conversation, a real conversation.
Where we can actually be adults.
Yeah. So tonight I have with me the very, very awesome comics division. How are you tonight?
I am fantastic, Nina. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Now, for those of you that you don't know, please introduce yourself and tell everyone where they can find you.
Oh, wow. I'm just an idiot on the internet. I go by Comics Division, and you can find me at Comics Division. It's, down right there on Twitter and YouTube, where I, try and make videos, struggle at that.
Oh my God.
Sometimes it's my fault. Sometimes it's not my fault. But anyway, I should have a video releasing soon as soon as my editor gets done with it. Toxic Man Flu has whipped something up. Be releasing that, and I live stream every Monday and Thursday on my channel. Monday is a little bit more political. Thursday is more entertainment related, and of course you can find me on Friday Night Tights every single Friday.
Woo! Friday Night Tights. Now, Andrew Legal Mindset is also going to be joining us. Both of these awesome guys' links is in the description down below. Andrew's actually here, but he's in the back chowing down because he has to refuel. I've been playing a lot of Conan recently, Conan Exiles, and in the game you have to refuel, and I feel like sometimes I forget to actually do that IRL, and that's what he had to do, and he was like, oh my God, I have to actually go eat. And I'm like, dude, go eat some food. So he's gonna do that and then join us in a little bit. But until then, make sure you're subscribed to both Comics Division and Legal Mindset. All the links are in the description down below. Without further ado, we're going to get into the PG portion of the show here. I know this is so weird. Isn't that so weird that we have to censor ourselves on YouTube? Comics Division is like,
it's weird, right? Even when you're just expressing an opinion and it's the wrong opinion. Let me turn my light back on here. It's kind of weird, man. I never thought we would live in a world where corporations are basically censoring free speech.
Yeah, it's actually crazy because and as you know, I originally came from Iran, and
Mhm.
that was, I'm very well versed when it comes to censorship. So just seeing that idea of America go down the drain with regards to at least free speech and the idea of being able to express yourself freely is just, it's something that I never imagined
Yeah.
would happen.
It's about to get worse with the Restrict Act, and that's exactly what it is. It is restricting your free speech.
Yep. And that's something that I can't get behind at all. Like, even though I hate TikTok
Yep.
with a passion, I also feel like this is a very slippery slope. And
It's pretty
we're gonna,
dangerous.
yeah, I mean, we're going to be talking about all of that kind of stuff very soon as well, like on Rumble, because then we can actually have a conversation, because that ties in with the Trump stuff and all of the stuff that's going on. But before that, let's talk about some really silly stuff, which is, it's still part of clown world because, politics is downstream from culture. Or is that the other way? Culture is downstream from politics.
Politics is
Either
downstream
way.
from culture.
Yeah.
They both influence each other. I think
They're
is the best
both,
way of putting it.
they're one and the same. They have to be. And that is why this is ridiculous. We've got Bounding into Comics covering Dungeons and Dragons to remove half species from player's handbook, claims the entire idea is inherently racist.
Oh my God.
Have you played D&D before?
I used to play D&D back during first, second, and kind of third edition. I've since moved on to other gaming systems, but yeah, this whole thing is ridiculous. The idea that you can't have a half elf anymore or a tiefling because those are half species.
Yeah.
And by the way, Toxic Man Flu, get back to work. He's calling me a colonizer.
Oh my God. Yeah, he just said he super chatted to say you're oppressing him.
Yes, I am.
You're a mean boss. My God.
Look,
Look, I know Gary hides you in the basement, but you don't have to do that to Toxic Man Flu, okay?
well, Toxic
Two
Man.
wrongs don't make a right. Comics.
I mean, as is, he phones in and half-asses his job as is. So. No, I'm just kidding. Tox is awesome.
No, Tox is awesome. I asked him for pictures of you for the thumbnail. And I was like, preferably not memes. Like, I don't want to, put a super silly picture. And then he sent me like all your little icons. And I was like, oh, these are cute. So I made the icon.
The avatars. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. He's coming back with more for $5. Toxic Man Flu. Comics is half human. That's just half. That's just half. That's a racist.
I don't know if he's trying to go for like half height, kind of half human, half of a human. I don't know.
You're half human. Half what monster? Like you're such a bad boss. Good Lord. Thoughts on fitness. Thank you so much for this member message. We say bye, guys. Have a great stream. 3 a.m. here in the UK. I'm sorry that you can't catch the streams earlier. I appreciate you being here for even this little short while. You can always catch the replays. I keep up these.
You got to highlight Brian's comment. This is great. This is a great way of spinning it.
Which one? Who's?
Brian, it says, so WotC is saying racial purity is better. Interesting.
Yeah. So that's where we're at with this, is that that's exactly what they're saying. Because the first second that I saw this like I had to take a double take when I saw this thing, and I was like, wait, wasn't that like, remember that movie, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
Guess who's coming to D&D?
It's literally like that. It's like, have we gone back in time? Because this is ridiculous. The idea that half species is problematic, and the language they used to. So here it is. This is like the half elf that are saying like, we're gonna take these out of the books. So they're talking about basically this kind of like inclusion team that they have working for them. Obviously, a bunch of blue-haired freaks that are probably like
sensitivity readers is what they call them, I believe.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So they say, frankly, we're not okay. Maybe I should do this in like a funny. Do you have a funny voice? Because we can do this in a funny way. Like, frankly, we're not comfortable and have been. Do you have a funny voice? Because I think yours is probably funny.
Frankly, we are uncomfortable and haven't been for years with any of the options that start with half, he explained. of this decision. Half construction is inherently racist, so we simply aren't going to include it in the new player's handbook.
That is insane. And then he
What are they going
went
to call
on
it?
to say,
Biracial elf, biracial orc?
I don't think they're going to even say that. Because he says, however, despite their removal from the player's handbook, Crawford assured players that if someone wants to play those characters' options, they'll still be in D&D Beyond, and they'll still be in the 2014 players' handbooks. Okay, so they're not taking it out fully, but still.
Yeah,
That's
they're
still
just
messed up.
removing it from future revisions.
They're new ones.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
So they can still create them, but thanks to the removal from the core materials, such as characters cannot be used in an officially sanctioned event.
Oh wow,
it's insane, dude. The writing of this reads from an actual racist person. It's like, do you think that people who are, mixed race are not proper like that? Do you like, what exactly goes through your mind when you this is the same kind of people that think that the orcs are based on black people.
Yes I'm surprised they have not removed orcs as a result, which is like one of the main antagonists in D&D, right? This is something that I don't know how many orcs I've killed on tabletop at this point. It's a ridiculous number, but yeah, this is dumb. I mean, this is something that is purely fantasy. It's meant, to be escapism. Again, all escapism must be deconstructed, right? Including Dungeons and Dragons. And that's the reason why they have modules dedicated to prom. Not going through a dungeon. And we have to also have wheelchair accessible ramps and dungeons. Because when I'm a monster creating a dungeon, the first thing I think of is putting in fucking wheelchair ramps, right? Gotta make sure we have a handicapped accessible dungeon for those players that want to see themselves.
But in all honesty, though, like, who's playing as that? Like, if you're maybe suffering from handicap situations, I'm guessing when you play D&D, you're not pretending to be handicapped. I'm just thinking, like, because that's the whole point of D&D, so you can be whatever you imagine. Most people fly. If you break your leg or something like that, you can use magic to heal it. Like, there's so many different things. There's so many different aspects that you're not going to end up being a gimped character, basically, like, because you're living in a world of magic and healing and sorcery. And I mean, it's just next level that they're like, we need to put like handicap ramps in the game so that people can imagine handicap ramps for themselves.
Well, the thing that's so insane about this is that, D&D, specifically Forgotten Realms, right? Because they introduce a lot of like world building, is very diverse and inclusive. And it has been since like the 80s, right? They have Kartura, which basically represents Asia. They have the Horde, which basically kind of represents the Mongols. They had another one that represented like South America. I think it was called Mazteca. And I think they actually had something too that was kind of like the equivalent of Africa, or more of a jungle area. And so this whole thing is ridiculous. And I just don't get it. It makes my brain hurt. And one of the creator, not the creators, he's like one of the game designers, recently came out saying that white people need to leave the hobby. White men, straight white men need to leave the hobby. And it's
are you serious? They actually said that?
He actually said this on a podcast with two black guys. And it's just like, dude, this whole game, the majority, not all, obviously not all. I like to say that, the demographics are as diverse as where the games take place. But primarily men play D&D, and
yes,
probably straight white men primarily. That doesn't mean that there aren't. I mean, I have two women in my tabletop game. One of them is Hispanic, right? So, I
mean, I've always like loved playing. I just recently started playing the actual D&D game like a couple of years ago.
Play
started
second
playing
edition.
with I started playing with like the online group we met, like, you know, Teresa Martin and you know, Steeg and a whole bunch of the crew. We decided to get a group together and played, and I played for a little bit until I got too busy and I couldn't play anymore.
Right.
But that was my first time ever playing because well, it was always a boys game and I was never really invited to it. So it was just one of those things. I never found groups that, you know, wanted to have, first of all, girls playing, and second of all, it was a very nerdy game. So it was like you have to kind of find the nerdy group that would be even willing to admit that they even play it. You know, it was very difficult.
I mean, I don't have an issue
up.
with, obviously, with women in my games. I think it's cool, but like growing up, majority was just dudes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, even when I was growing up,
chicks weren't interested in that shit.
It was difficult to find because, and most of the chicks always just want to go like shopping in the mall, and like, you know, they don't want to spend their, you know, weekends playing D&D. It's just not, that's not like, you know, part of our culture, female culture. Grumpy Dwarf, thank you for the $1.99. Says, hey, YouTube, you're number one. Aw.
Indeed.
Bird Up for $5 says, we're now in a timeline where racism is considered anti-racist. Exactly. Everything is just flipped. We live in like bizarro universe.
It's weird.
And then Russell Hall, what's going on, buddy? Says for $5. So how are they going to get rid of all the half species, and who is going to do it? Will it be a campaign? Do you win if you kill a D&D Hitler?
It's going to be a genocide.
Oh my God.
I think what they'll do is they'll just no longer acknowledge their existence.
I think so
the
too.
more likely thing. But yeah, we like to joke about genocides whenever they do stuff like that. Yeah.
I think that's what's gonna happen too. And I mean, that's
I'm gonna have to find out where that is at, and I'm going to have to retweet it out, basically saying, "Oh wow, WotC supports racial purity." I guess they're going to be a genocide for all the half elves and half orcs.
Here, I can help you out right away with that. I'm going to just post that article in the private chat from Bounty and Comics. There you go. Now you can go and tweet away and tell them to F right off, because it's so racist. It's so racist. I'm like, I think about, you know, my little nephew. He's a little half C. You know, he's half Persian, half Mexican. And it's just like stop it. Stop telling my nephew that he's not right. You know, like that's bullshit. We've come, it's so weird. It's like we've come so far that we're going backwards. It makes no sense. Like I hate progressivism. It's like,
it's pretty bad.
Can't believe progressivism has actually ruined our lives. It's becoming ridiculous.
Yeah.
Toxic Man Flu for another $5. Thank you. Says, I started playing the 80s and almost all the groups I was in were half girls. We also did the Renaissance thing before it was a thing. Wow.
Yeah.
Renaissance
fairs. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. See, maybe it wasn't a Canadian thing, because all the girls that I grew up with were like fucking nerds. Like they looked down on that shit.
Seriously, no chicks played D&D or any of the tabletop stuff when I was in high school and even in college. No women. They were just not interested in it. I mean, college is where I really started meeting more people that were interested, female related. Like I said, 2 members of my group were female. I've been playing tabletop with one since college. The other one, I don't know, for over 10 years at this point. And
wow.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Sir Marhas, thank you for the $4.99. Says D&D requires you to drop your inhibitions. For some of the games I've ran, whenever a girl was added, the guy tend to RP less because it's embarrassing. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It can be, but when you're older and you're married, nobody cares anymore, and you just play your game.
Yeah,
right.
I get that though, because it does. That's why you have to be really close with the group that you're. You have to feel that closeness, that safe space. I hate saying that, but you have to feel safe in order that people aren't going to judge you if you say bad thing or a racial thing or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to lose friendships over it because people are going to be like, "Oh, fuck you," then. Yeah.
It's, and the other thing too, it requires is imagination.
Yes.
That's another thing. And I think a lot of these people just don't have an imagination.
We know that comics, because we're in the entertainment, and like, well, we're not in the industry, but we talk about the entertainment industry, and we know since since at least 2012 there has been creativity has been lacking for a long time. Actually, that's our next topic. We're going to be talking about the lack of creativity in freaking Disney. In just a minute. John Wayne, thank you so much. John Wayne drinks SJW tears.
He
I
certainly
should
did.
say this full name. This is amazing. For $5, these leftists are just practicing identitarian collectivism, which is inherently segregationist. I can say this. Segregationist.
Yeah.
They're no different than the white supremacist pizzas. It's the truth. This is exactly it. It's all projection. It's all projection. Russell Halford too says we might finally get John Malin into D&D. Oh my God. Oh my God. Do you know the story of this?
No, I don't.
It's because he had a crippled girlfriend when he was like it's like some lore with John Malin and how he took this crippled girl to the prom or something. Okay. I'm probably butchering this idea, this whole story. Russell knows the story. I'm butchering it. Upstanding citizen for $1.99. You all will have nothing, and you will like it. It seems like we can't even have D&D anymore. Like it's not even about like economics. It's like you can't, cars, electric cars, whatever, houses, food. We can't even have D&D. That's messed up. You're misinformed.
Well, this is the problem when something gets popular,
crush on a crippled girl. There you go.
Oh, okay. This is the problem with when something gets popular, right? Mm-hmm. Is that I'm not gonna say the normies ruin it.
They do.
But people come in that are outsiders. This is why gatekeeping is kind of important.
I know.
They come in and they're like, "Oh, I don't like this. You gotta change this." And it's the same thing with the SJWs. And they come in and they overtake something. And
that is how I feel about anime right now, because anime is like now so popular all of a sudden, and it's just like, could we not make it popular? Like I think want any of these people in here.
The most important thing when it comes to Japan, not so much here in the States that do the translations, but in Japan, they're not going to change shit for America or the West, and that has issues in itself too. Just look at what's happening. We are exporting woke, and the rest of the world doesn't fucking want it, and to the point where Japan's like, screw off America. We're going to buy oil from Russia.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's happening. Okay, let's talk about Disney for a little bit.
All right.
So there's a few pieces of Disney news. Well, there's several, but these are the new ones. One is this one. Disney's live action remake of The Little Mermaid rewrites songs like Kiss the Girl to teach consent.
Oh my God.
As if I wanted to watch this movie. Because I don't know if you know comics, but my favorite Disney movie of all time, we're talking about girls and girl stuff, is The Little Mermaid. That's my favorite Disney movie.
I've actually never seen it.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. I mean, obviously, I don't think you're possibly not going to enjoy it because you're an adult man, but it is definitely one of the best.
I liked Aladdin. That was like, one of my favorites that came out. I mean, that one actually, that one came out like right around the time I was graduating from high school.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went and I saw it with a group of friends, and we just like, it was very good. And Robin Williams was fantastic. And that's some fucking top tier Disney.
Have you ever seen like the behind the scenes when he's doing the voice of the genie?
Mm-mm.
You should go like YouTube it later on, because there's like behind the scenes clips of him and how he's like so into it and he's like just acting it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic. Okay, hold on. Oh my God.
I probably should have read it for you.
Okay, so we have another gentleman joining us. He's pretty amazing. Here, let me introduce him by going like this. Hang on.
You let me down, man. Now I don't believe in nothing no more. I'm going to law school.
Tuts, when I grow up, I want to be a lawyer just like you.
Good for you, son. If there's one thing America needs, it's more lawyers. Can you imagine a world without lawyers? Oh.
Andrew is here. Legal mindset.
What
so
is up?
accurate too.
The world would be so much of a better place without us shysters, and it's good to be here in the house with you guys.
I'm so happy you're here.
Man, I'm happy to be here too. And thank you for giving me a brief reprieve to get food and shortly more food.
Of
we
course.
may have a part mukbang stream live here, but no, it's really good. There's lots to talk about. I caught a little bit of your conversation about what's going on with anime and what's going on with stuff abroad, and you are on the mark, Comic Division, about that. Like, I'm over here, right? I'm in Korea and Japan, and they're just creating their own content, and they're kind of not giving a fuck.
Yeah.
Like they're just like and their content is killing it because
Oh, 100%.
all it focuses on, both Korea and Japan, by the way, like they're just focusing on good stories and like engaging content and what people like, and they're like, and not even what their own population likes, because they don't even kind of care about what the weirdos in the US like or whatever else. They're just like, yo, we're making this for Japan. That's like, this isn't really for you. Like, you may watch it, you're a secondary audience, but you're not our primary audience.
Right.
Which is
that's how it should
really
be. It should
base.
stay that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it should. And that's what, Andrew, I know because you're an anime fan, but that's what I was saying
Huge
to
anime fan, yeah.
comics. Like, I'm scared of it becoming popular because I'm like, stay the fuck away from our shit. Like these weirdo SJWs that want to just constantly change everything and say like everything's inappropriate, everything, there's a problem
Well,
with everything.
how they're going to
Like,
do
stay
it
away.
is they're going to get it through the houses that do the translations, right? It's
Well,
the reason
that's
why.
That's how they already do it. That's how they already do it with Funimation. I mean,
Yeah,
Funimation
that's
was the key, right? They were like the funnel, right? So like Japan creates all the content, but it's got to be translated to Funimation.
Now, this is what's going on as well. The songs in the Disney live action Little Mermaid are being changed to teach consent to little girls.
Yes,
Well,
the
see,
girl,
that-
but only if you have
but
consent.
honestly though, like beyond this is like packed within this thing is so many issues, right?
Yep.
It's, you know, and then women turn around and they're like, why don't men approach anymore? Because we've been told that's not okay. That coming up and just saying, hi, I like you, I think you're cute. Like, and just saying that.
That's
like,
problematic now.
That's problematic. That's what, last time I checked, that's kind of what is wanted, right?
Yeah.
Like, they don't want to have to do the other way around. And like, they don't want to have to come up to you and approach you and face rejection, right? So, I mean, it's people are asking, why aren't you approaching? I'm like, because it's against the law in some countries, like in the UK, right? And
Are you
now,
serious?
oh yeah, you during the in the UK, yeah, you can't do a street pickup, talking to people. It's prohibited, right? So
That is
guys
insane. That is like the literal destruction of culture. I mean, humans are social animals, and the fact that you just can't strike up a conversation with a stranger in the street is ridiculous. That is against our very nature.
Exactly, it's against our nature. But and the thing is, companies like Disney that have constantly said we're going against the natural feminine, the natural masculine, and we're going to, you know, fight this, and we're not just going to fight it, but we're going to subvert it. People are rejecting it, and people are rejecting Disney. People are turning against Disney. There's a reason why everybody is speaking out and saying, Disney, this is not right. You've gone too far. And this is just another example. It's people laugh, but this is serious. This is rewriting the past. It's rewriting everything you've loved.
It is.
They will never stop until they've destroyed every inch of what you grew up on. Every single corner of ground, every piece of earth must be scorched. It's sad.
Yeah, and the last super chat that we got a few super chats ago, that you will own nothing and you will like it, kind of thing. Like, that's what I was like. We can't have D&D. We can't even have this. Like, we can't even have a live action Little Mermaid for the new generation for them to be like, oh, okay, like, because even when, okay, Yes, I don't like the race swap thing. I think it's dumb.
dumb.
But in general, I always hold that position of make them as close to the original as possible. I don't have a problem with you doing it. I personally don't even like live action movies anyway, like live action cartoons, like Disney films. I'm not into the
Let's
live
talk
action.
about Cowboy Bebop.
I can't.
Our favorite, and they just nuked it from orbit.
Yeah,
that was even
such a
worse
good
than
anime,
Disney.
and they trashed it. I couldn't even get through like the first 30 minutes of it.
I
was like,
force
I'm
watched
fucking
myself.
out.
I can't believe I force watched the whole thing because I had to review it. But it's just one of those things where we can't have anything anymore. And then so with this one, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try and at least be objective and see what it's like when it comes out. But every time more details about this comes out, it seems like an actual nightmare of mine coming to reality because this was my favorite Disney movie of all time. And it's just literally become this abomination of itself. And it's like, and I'm not even just talking about the casting. I'm talking about the animation of fucking Flounder, the animation of Sebastian, the 3D hollow, like just
it's still basically a cartoon.
Yeah.
But hold on, Nina, let me ask you this. Have you liked any of the remakes of the modern remakes of the Disney classics, the animated classics? Have you liked any
I liked
of them?
one. I liked one, and it was Cinderella, the original, like the one that they started this whole live action thing with. I liked it. It was fine. I thought it was because it was Cinderella. It was Cinderella in live action, and I was like, I have no problems with this. It's cool. It's fine.
And I think that was the Catfish, right? Because that's what they get you in. They do the first one. The first one's like okay, so you're like, all right, I'm gonna go to the second. And then the second sucks. You're like, well, the first was still all right. So maybe the third, they'll fix the problem. And then they don't. And then they don't. And then they don't.
Yeah. And then, like, for me, it was like, oh, this is okay. Cinderella was fine. Went to the Beauty and the Beast. Oh, this is kind of weird. Like, I'm really not liking this anymore. And then right after that was Maleficent, which was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life because it was.
That must have been the sequel because Maleficent came out, like the original one came out like several years ago.
No, I'm talking about the first one. When the first one came out, because it went Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast.
Wait, there was
Maleficent.
a sequel for Maleficent?
I thought, there was a sequel.
Was it straight to video or did it actually go out in theaters?
No, it hit theaters.
Went to the theater. I went to the theater for it. The one with what's her name?
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, Angelina Jolie. Because I was like, oh, she looks great. She's gonna be like a great Maleficent. I was like totally into it.
Well, wait, hold on. She wasn't in both. Angelina Jolie wasn't in both.
No, she was in both.
She was in both. I just never saw the second one because I was like, why would I ever watch this again?
Yeah.
But the first one normalized her villainy and basically said that the king was the evil one.
And Maleficent, the first one was 2014.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Sorry, but comics. But I mean, this is the thing. Like, it just drives me in rage. Like, it just you triggered me right there. Is that we have to rehabilitate every single villain and make them into essentially the good guy that was beaten up by the what? It's always the toxic white male, right? It's always ends up every single story. It's the toxic white male. Even in stories where it doesn't even make sense for them to be white, they're like, there's some random white guy who shows up, and it's like, oh yeah, let's blame that guy, right?
So
I didn't even watch
the first one was 2014. The second one was 2019. And I think you're thinking of the 2019 one.
Oh, no, I'm definitely thinking of the 2014 one because it was the one where she's like, I never even saw the second one.
Okay.
She's like, she's talking about, like, basically the movie said that she became who she became because the king was fucking evil. And like, it was just the most ridiculous shit. And I was like, she's supposed to be evil. She's like the most evil queen. Like,
they're making her into another anti-hero, or she has reasons for being bad.
Exactly.
They did the same thing with Cruella de Vil.
I never watched that one because after that I was like, I'm done with the live action.
How do you rehabilitate that? She just really likes killing dogs. It's like, it's just like,
because they said that
her mother was killed by a dog.
Her mom was killed by a bunch of dogs.
So, yeah.
So she was now a dog killer, and that's apparently okay. Imagine Disney. Disney is saying it's okay to be a dog killer. That's fucked
Well,
up.
Disney
But
basically
they don't-
said it's okay for Scarlet Witch to control an entire town and get away
That's
with it.
true. That's
But
true.
they always look past that. Once again, they go for the feels and not for like the actual like real storyline, right? Because if they just focused on real story, like real convincing story, and followed also a hero's journey, which they've completely abandoned, you know, which requires some struggle, which requires you to start where you're not skilled and to learn those skills through hardship. If they followed that, they would be great, even with a female character. But they refuse to do that. They refuse to do anything but this character is born special because they're a POC or they're a woman or whatever else. And they're automatically badass, and just it's because everybody's hating on them and they're all just mad and butthurt. And that's why everything went wrong for them.
It's just so annoying. Now, in this one, this is the new details that are coming out from this. So this one, you know, and at first I was like, okay, I can at least get behind the fact that Haley, whatever her name is, she has a good voice. And I was like, okay, she has a good singing voice. And at first, at least at the very least, she's going to be able to sing the damn songs. And now here we come to the songs, and the songs have changed. The thing that made the Little Mermaid has changed. So the composer of the Little Mermaid confirmed that some of the classic songs have been changed because the composer Alan Menken told Vanity Fair in a recent interview that some of the original famous songs, including Kiss the Girl, have received an updated lyrics so that it's clear to viewers that Prince Eric would never force himself on Ariel. Another song, Poor Unfortunate Soul, sung by classic Disney villain Ursula, has had the lyrics updated because some of the lines might make young girls somehow feel that they shouldn't speak out of turn. Do you know what the movie is about?
Yeah, do they understand the fairy tale that is based on?
No, they definitely don't, because that
don't.
they would have to acknowledge that it was Danish, and this is really about Danish people. And last time I checked, you know, Barry doesn't look very Danish. Let's just put it that way.
No, she does not. Yeah, it's pretty funny because I got into a fight with somebody over this. I said, "This is a Danish fairy tale." They're like, "There's black people in Denmark." I said, "There's white people in Africa."
Yeah, when you know now? Yeah, sure. Oh, you're right.
Probably not when this was written.
If it's set, no, but if you want to set it in the modern time, sure, that's fine. You want to have like a new age thing, okay, that's fine. But if you're setting it back then, make the setting correct. By the way, if the reverse was true, if we put white tribes people in the middle of Africa, there would be an uprising. People's houses would be burnt. People would be excommunicated. It would be terror, you know, literal terror. And that's not even exaggerating.
No, it's not. And so this person goes out and they clarifying that before they could surprise longtime fans, blah, blah, blah. There are some lyrics changes in Kiss the Girl because many have gotten very sensitive about the idea that Prince Eric would in any way force himself on Ariel. This was never part of the first cartoon. Like, where are they getting this from? He never
because you know, the whole kissing consent thing. I mean, someone did a meme a couple years ago. It was freaking hilarious with Sleeping Beauty. And the prince goes in and leans in and start giving her a kiss. He's like, "Oh, wait, I didn't ask for consent." And then he slowly backs away. And then you see her, you know, a skeleton.
Yeah. It's like, well, she didn't consent. So, you know,
I can't. She
Nina,
can't.
have you ever seen those college consent videos where they actually walk you through what is like the ideal consent?
No,
you know,
here's a form you need to fill out.
It's like no, but it's like it's a couple sitting together, and it's like, is it okay if I sit here? Is it okay if I face you? Is it okay if I touch your knee? Is it okay if I touch your shoulder? Is it okay if I touch your face? Is it okay if I kiss you
SNL did a
lightly?
skit like that back in the 90s mocking this.
But that's what they want. That's what they really believe is necessary.
We turned into an SNL skit. This is real life now.
Yeah,
legit. It's legit.
So this is there are some lyric changes in Kiss the Girl. Okay, blah blah blah. Their lyrics to the original tune's chorus said, "Yes, you want her. Look at her. You know you do. Possible she wants you to. There's one way to ask her. I don't take a word, not a single word. Go on and kiss the girl." The composer then mentioned that the changes to Ursula's most famous number. He said, "We have some revisions in Poor Unfortunate Souls regarding the lines that might make young women, girls somehow feel that they shouldn't speak out of turn. the original song, the witch sings, the men up there don't like a lot of blabber. They think a girl who gossips is a bore, yet on the land it's much preferred for ladies not to say a word. After all that, dear, what's a idle bowel for? She also says they only understand body language and humps the air, which is, very funny and very understandable.
Yes. It's hilarious.
It's fucking hilarious because that is true. So anyways, they're changing the songs. I mean, this is bullshit.
Well, and the funny thing about it is that there's already this thing with consent and kissing. When a dude leans in to kiss a girl and she turns her head away, that means no.
Exactly.
You know, do you need to go and ask
what else
for
is
permission
necessary,
first?
right?
Exactly.
But I guess the thing is, they want you to be so socially inept. And that's actually one thing about Corona. It actually decreased people's social skills because you're face to face. So people are losing the body language reading because they're pushing us away from each other. So we're not even going to be able to read each other like that
because we're all becoming socially retarded. So,
right,
and they're encouraging that.
Mm-hmm.
Like what you were saying right now, Andrew, about England, like you can't even approach women anymore. Apparently that's against the law. It's like, okay, well, what are they supposed to do? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, you're supposed to go online and use dating apps, which they, control the algorithm of and can sort you into groups that are destined to fail and destined to keep you on the app and keep you unsuccessful, right? And keep you in the grinding machine of just constantly swipe, and never being actually happy, never making that match. Yeah, that's what they want.
It's insane.
Society is so fucked.
That's the culture.
It's fucked.
It is fucked.
And let me just say this though, like it's to the point where just like normal human behavior is becoming outlawed.
Illegal.
It's becoming verboten. It's becoming illegal. And that's where I say, look, there's going to be a pushback against this. This is not sustainable. Like no society, no world can like sustain this for long. They can hold this delusion temporarily, but eventually the truth is going to come out. And people are learning, people are waking up, people are watching your channels. And, the people that are, getting wise to this are growing in number every day, I will say.
Oh, well, I hope so. I mean, sometimes I feel really black-pilled. I mean, I have my Friday show. It's called Infinite Hope, where I try to, remember that there's good people out there. But most Wednesdays, I feel very black-pilled. I'm like, I don't know where we're going. Like, and I don't know what the solution is anymore. And actually, there was a topic that I was going to bring up, but we can't talk about it. We can't talk about it on YouTube, which makes me even more black-pilled because I'm like, we can't even talk. We can't even talk on YouTube. It's freaking annoying. Psycho Crusher 69 for $19.99. Thank you. Says, speaking of Disney, there needs to be a remake of Mulan song, A Girl Worth Fighting For, but darker for modern audiences, specifically men. There was a remake of Mulan. It was utter garbage.
It was bad.
Yep.
It was
real bad.
I don't remember them changing that song though.
Well, I remember they
didn't
changed the
watch it,
lieutenant that she was falling in love with. And because he was the superior, they had to go and change that.
Yeah.
Right.
And turned him into a complete cuck.
Yeah, because of course women are not attracted to people in superior social positions. That's totally
not at all.
That's a
not
myth.
at all. It's complete fabrication
never
and
happens.
misogyny. Never ever,
Yeah.
never ever do people fuck their secretaries.
Mark of Reality for $2 says, do you think Disney lasts another 10 years?
See, this is where I differ from the other guys, like the Disney doom pillars. People got to realize how big they are, and they're just like, if they ask for cash, they're going to get cash injections. Now, are they going to? Here's the thing: will they exist? Yes. Will they be on the same scale and the same market share? No. But are they going to still be in? Yes, of course. I mean, look, at the end of the day, someone would buy out Disney just for the IP. Like, they're not going to go away. Now, do they change their tune in 10 years? That's another story. It is possible that they could have such a financial hit that they're like, yo, Universal is doing this stuff over here. They have this theme park that's thriving. They have these IPs that are thriving. And they finally give it up 5 years from now or 7 years from now.
They will be the last to adapt.
Yeah. Them and Netflix. I mean, I think you're absolutely right, Andrew. And I think that, I mean, comics, I don't know if you can look up the numbers that came out for the Mario movie today, but I mean, I think it's a lot. It's
a lot.
And I feel like the Disney, like every single family movie that they're coming out with recently, not live action. We're talking Pixar. We're talking like, their little cartoons. Bombing. Every single one has been bombing. These are children's movies. things that
children's movies are layups. They should be layups.
exactly. It's just like just fucking lay it up, man. It like parents just want to take their kids to a couple of movies for a couple of hours, go with a babysitter so we can have 2-hour break, fucking go and get some wine at the theater while you guys go, you guys go to the movies or whatever. Nothing. Like
it's not reported on the numbers yet. So
it's more than that though. It's that parents want to be able to turn on Disney and walk away. Right.
Yes.
And I will say it's now on parents. And frankly, this maybe is a personal responsibility thing, but now you have to police this. Now you have to watch what they watch. Now, frankly, it is not safe for your kid to just be sitting on Disney Plus.
They don't like that. They don't like that at all. And actually, you know what? I'm going to quickly bring up, because to your point, Tug posted, that umbrella guy posted this thing. And I love Tug, man. Tug, such a good guy.
He's a very good dude. Great voice, too.
Very good voice. My mom is like, I love Tug's voice. I'm like, okay, Mom, calm down.
Tug is married.
Like, it's a little weird.
Mom.
It's a little weird.
It was funny because my wife got really big into the Johnny Depp trial, and we were talking about Tug, and it's like, yeah, I know that guy.
Dude, my friends were asking me about Tug. My Mexican friends were like, wait, you know Rekieta and like that umbrella man? And I was like, yes.
That umbrella man.
That umbrella man.
That umbrella man.
That was great.
That umbrella dude.
Oh my God. So Tug posted, seems Hollywood critics don't like kids' movies unless it involves watching playgrounds with binoculars. Pedo bait cuties versus family fun Mario, 54%. I mean, unreal.
Yep. No, it's real.
Freaking real.
It's real.
Go figure.
It's real.
It's so bad. It is so bad. It's so transparent now how the critics are just complete retards.
They're in the tank. They're 100% in the tank. They don't want anything but they literally score them on woke points. It's literally social credit score. It's your social credit score. It's what it is for movies, right? And,
did you guys see Grace Randolph's fucking review of
No. I don't pay attention to that bitch, honestly.
Oh my God. Comics, you are so going to be talking about it on Friday Night Tides because she's ridiculous. She basically came out and was like, what is this like movie? Like, why are they going at, well, why is like this Bowser character obsessed with kidnapping Princess Peach? It's creepy. And I'm like,
it's a video game, darling.
The movie, the movie's based on a video game, a very popular video game where Bowser kidnaps fucking Princess Peach.
Have you guys seen it? Because I haven't. It doesn't come out in.
I'm seeing it tomorrow.
Okay, so Japan and Korea doesn't come out till the 26th. So okay, I'm interested to talk after I see it and also after you guys see it because I've heard like really good reviews and also I've heard some interesting other points that people make counterpoints. So
same here, Andrew, because I've heard the majority of people say that it's good for kids.
Yes.
And that it's also good because it's a very Mario. Like they love how Mario, like if you like Mario, you're going to like it. If you don't like Mario, you're not going to like it. But also I've heard this other side where they're saying that basically it's Princess Peach's movie.
Yeah, it's girl boss Peach, and I'm like, oh boy, all right.
Yeah,
well,
so
that I'm a little like, okay, I roll, but I guess like if they're trying, they can make the justification that she is a strong character in the games, right? And she does get more of her own identity later in the games, but kind of making Mario inept is also not great.
I need to watch it in order to judge that. Yeah,
and I'll see it for myself, and I'm gonna go watch it, and I'll see it for myself, and I'll make my own decision and be my own judge, as I say on the thing.
Yeah.
But I'm a little bit hesitant on that part.
Same here.
Yeah.
We'll have to figure
because,
it out.
Look, I think we just need
who invited the lawyer.
They were having legal trouble. I was trying to keep Nina from being deported. It's my specialty.
That's funny.
There's always a door open for you in Asia.
Jackson Van Flew 5 says, hey, Legal Mind says the lawyer that got the Dix division convicted for blowing up Wang's at Cantonese Kitchen and Discoteca. Wow.
Boo. Yeah, that was great. That was some film I recorded. I'm really glad to have helped with that. It was hilarious. I loved it. I recorded like 5 takes of that. So check that out. I think it's on your channel, Comics, right?
Yeah, it's on my channel. Yeah.
Yeah, I did
Cool.
the same for like it was like for the Wokies or whatever that they had, and I did a little piece for it too, Andrew. It was really funny.
Yeah, we're gonna
And
be
shout out to
releasing
everybody-
it like the entire thing, not as a live stream, but all the pieces edited together.
Like the little clip.
pretty
Oh
fun.
yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
And I want to say, like, I want to give a special, like, just saying thank you to all the content creators out there who are creating good content. I know you may have small channels right now, but like what we need more of is good, original, creative content. So we don't have to watch this woke bullshit, right?
Yep.
And like people are out there creating good shit. Do it. Keep doing it. You're going to see success.
100%. Wolf Spain for $4.99 says, just watch the Mario movie. I liked it, but I dislike Donkey Kong's voice. And spoilers, I feel Peach needs a flaw to balance out her hyper competence. Okay. See, that's a lot of people have been saying this.
Yeah, and that's
And
what does worry me.
People
To
are
be
saying
completely
Donkey
honest.
Kong's voice
Yep.
sucked because it's Seth Rogen. I mean, Seth Rogen
Yeah.
sucks. Like,
Fuck
why
that
they
guy.
even have him? Yeah, fuck
That's
that
a
dude.
fact.
But I
Yeah.
mean, I was even against Chris Pratt voicing Mario. Like, I was like,
Apparently,
they
so
get Mario's voice
people
actor?
who have seen it say that the way they handled it, they kind of understand why they did it that way and like making the choice. And it might be difficult for 2 hours to listen to "It's me," the
Yeah.
entire time. It
Yeah,
would get
yeah.
annoying
Yeah.
eventually, right?
yeah. I mean, I get
I mean,
that.
they didn't do that in the original Mario Brothers movie.
No, they
yes,
didn't.
They did not.
Steve, thank you for the thumbs up super sticker. And speaking of that, make sure you smash the like if you're enjoying the content, you guys. It really helps out the content creators for the algos. And then we got Day at Co for $9.99 says, Day Ha, the 1997 Oscar Hammerstein Cinderella starring Brandy and Whitney Houston as the fairy godmother, examples of diverse casting as non-issue and faithful adaptation of the original musical. I love Cinderella that had Brandy in it. I mean, my favorite Cinderella adaptation is the one actually with Drew Barrymore, Everlasting.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
I fucking love that movie.
See, a lot of times,
go ahead.
They try to celebrate these modern movies as the first time this has happened and the first time there's been representation. But if you look back, it's always been there. They just don't want to acknowledge it because it didn't tick enough boxes for them or it wasn't center stage enough. It's always been there. It's not good enough, right? Like the fairy godmother wasn't trans, and that therefore it wasn't.
Or
was
gay.
it Sia? Was it Sia in that version that was like came down the male fairy godmother? Like they have to go
he's
beyond.
gay though. That was the thing that they did with him for some reason.
Wait,
Yeah,
in
no,
the
it-
new
it's
one?
different.
Yeah, in the new
Yeah.
one, it's Billy Porter.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's it.
There you go.
But the funny thing too is like the Wiz. Okay, that's our all black remake of the Wizard of Oz.
Sure.
And what they did is they took it and they made it something different, right? They made it their own.
Yeah.
And I don't have an issue with that.
I
Right?
like that movie.
Yeah,
Great,
I mean,
yeah.
it's like it's fine when you take something and you do your own interpretation of it. I mean, I don't think anyone complains about that. The Wiz is a great movie.
Mhm.
And I think in the story behind Wizard of Oz, I never realized it's like economics. Like it really is like talking about like the gold standard and like the dollar.
It
I'm like,
is.
holy shit.
It's
I'm like,
actually
wait, that,
about
like, broke
silver
me.
and gold.
It
The
broke
story's
me.
crazy.
It literally broke me when I figured that out. I'm like, holy shit, this is kind of deep. Like,
Yeah, the story is nuts, Andrew. You're one of the only people
know.
who actually have ever said that to me. I knew about that too, and I was like,
Is that in
"God,
like
it's
the book or is that
no,
actually in the
no.
movie?
It's the whole story. The fundamental of the story of the Wizard of Oz is about the silver, the gold standard, the dollar, fiat currency. Like it's all about like go read into like the economic perspective of Wizard of Oz. Just Google it. I don't want to
Interesting.
explain it. I don't want to
Yeah,
butcher it.
it's
I don't want
so
to get it
crazy.
wrong.
Fair enough.
But
Fair enough.
look it up. It's seriously, it'll blow your mind. And when you see it, you're like, these writers had a deep meaning. So when they make it woke, it just destroys all of that deep meaning. When you
Right.
take these things that the authors originally wrote and they wrote them in a very specific way for a very specific reason, it nukes that original reason.
Well, they're going with the death of the author trope, essentially.
Well, Tolkien, right? Tolkien wrote Lord of the Rings for Britain, for mythology for Britain.
Mhm.
When you start putting people in there that clearly aren't native Britons, then you're destroying the mythology of Britain.
Yeah, but they
which
tried
wasn't
using the Cheddar Man as justification, which is all wrong.
I know, it's so insane. Like this world has just become the most insane
Yeah.
place.
Well, and
We'll
the
say-
thing about the Cheddar Man too is they're trying to say that the Cheddar Man was one of the descendants of modern Europeans, which is absolutely 100% false.
Mhm.
And when the guy from the Hollywood Reporter cited the article that basically said that that was not the case, he clearly didn't read the fucking article.
Mm-hmm. No, they're not reading. They don't
They don't read. They don't watch.
Yeah.
They don't do anything. They're just like phoning it in, and then they're just reporting lies. Oh my god! Did you guys see? Speaking of that, did you see Alex Stein going to like the thing today? The Dallas Morning News.
I missed
Okay,
that.
we'll watch
No,
that
no, I love Alex. Though he's hilarious.
Wolf's
He
paying
is
for
hilarious.
$1.99 says Mulan remake wasn't a musical. China didn't like it. Oh my god!
It's true though. It's like they do all this simping for China, and China's like, yeah, we don't like it. We're not.
Yeah,
gonna
so
like it.
and then they
simping for
change
China, that's
everything.
why.
And then they change everything for China
And they may lose their theme park. That may get confiscated by China. I mean, there's all sorts of things. They're realizing that their overlords that they've been bending the knee for aren't giving them the return they were promised. Right? They thought they were going to get.
I'm just pulling up this Alex Stein thing here. Okay, here it is.
Man.
This
I'm
is
excited.
this is going to be highly entertaining.
Good.
So I don't know if you guys caught, because a few days ago he went and he did the same thing to CNN because they were broadcasting from the street, and he just kind of called them out and was saying a lot of very funny shit. And then now he did it. This time he did it to the Dallas Morning News because he was supposed to go and have an interview there, and this is what happened.
See y'all laughing. Get off my jacket. Get off my jacket. Get out. Get off my jacket. Get out. Get off my jacket. What are you going to do about it? Quit touching me.
It's Primetime 99. Alex Stein. We're here at the Dallas Morning News headquarters, about to do the candidate forum for HBISD Independent School Board, place 6.
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm Primetime 99. I'm a pimp on a blimp.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
Ryan. What's up, Ryan?
What's your name?
Alex Stein. Primetime 99. Pimp on a blimp.
Mr. Stein.
Alex, yeah, I want to keep it on.
No,
For safety.
Okay, let me excuse you then.
What do you mean?
Step out.
Wait, I'm trying to film before my candidate.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there's no filming in the meeting.
Well, I'm going to film the meeting just for safety purposes. There's cameras in this building.
Him on a blimp.
He's got so much balls.
He does. That's a lot.
He really
of balls.
does.
Bro, listen, I got to have this on for safety purposes. Look at the fake news media scared to do an interview because I have a cell phone camera. They're not even in their own offices. Look at this. How pathetic are you guys? I mean, y'all won't conduct an interview because I want to record it. You guys have cameras here.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm here to do an interview.
I have a
Yeah, what do you mean? So now you're canceling the interview? Oh, okay.
I have a legal question, Andrew.
Mhm. Yes.
Is he within his rights?
That is actually really interesting because we got to know what they consented to, what he consented to. And you got to be very careful with two-party consent states without recording folks without their consent.
I don't think Texas is a two-party consent state, though.
I'm not a Texas lawyer, right? So I don't pretend to be one. I don't,
Fair
and once
enough.
again, I'm giving out both sides of the issue, right? So it's possible, it's not possible, right? But that being said, I think regardless of the legality, right? Because you could debate the legality. If it's one-party consent, you could say they consented to it. Also, if they consented to an interview and they consented to recording of the interview, but they weren't specific in that consent as to who would be doing the recording, well, then he'd be fully within his right? Because you said recording is allowed, recording is permitted. Okay, cool. So I'm going to record too, right? You're going to record and I'm going to record. They don't want you to do that. The mainstream media for the longest time, what they've been doing is they take clips. They they shit themselves at the thought of the entire context being played, because then you see how crazy it is, how woke it is, how insane it is, and the insanity of it all bubbles from. They do not, the number one thing they know is do not be caught on camera. If they say a word, if a word of this gets out, they're done. That's why they're locking down cameras. That's why they're kicking them out of courtrooms when they can. That's why they don't want the Trump thing to be televised. They want it to be not televised. They want all cameras to be gone because they want zero accountability. They want to control the narrative. They want to be the sole source of the narrative because then they can spin it. Then they can clip it. And you can clip somebody to make them look horrible. And we're not even going to talk about what's going to happen once deepfakes come out that are good enough to be passable as news footage. Right.
That
Then
always
it's
reminds
just-
me of that episode of
just
The
over.
Simpsons when Homer got caught, like, me tooing that babysitter. And then like Willie helped him get away from it because he was recording people in the bushes or whatever.
Okay,
and then they
okay,
like,
yeah.
and then in the end, they're like, they made the Willy tape and they like all cut it together so that he's like a monster. It's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's funny. There was a guy, a YouTuber named Diversity in Comics, and he did an interview. I don't remember with what show, and they basically did that to him. And from my understanding, the way they get you is they will ask you a question knowing that you're not going to like it, right?
Yes.
Hey, Andrew, what are your thoughts on child porn? And then they'll ask you another question, and of course Andrew's gonna be like, "It's awful. I think it's disgusting." And then they'll take another clip of saying, "Hey, what do you think of this?
Sunset picture. It's beautiful. It's great.
What do you think of Black Superman? Oh, Black Superman's all right." And then what they'll do is they'll take the one where it's like, "Oh, it's disgusting," and they'll use that clip and totally change the context of the interview. And it's the reason why, like you said, they don't want to release the raw, uncut interview is because they are shuffling the context around to make you look bad.
Yeah.
And that's why I say, especially for a lot of people, they got to start doing this, especially people who are having these alternative viewpoints. Here's what they need to say. I'll come on to your show, but I get to have my own camera there with my own recording the entire
so I can release the whole thing.
You have to consent to that. So
and that's what I wonder, Andrew.
I get to record and we get to release it. And so if you want to edit it, that's fine. Edit it whatever way you want, but I got the raw footage. So
right. And that's what I wonder too, because I was wondering if Alex had them consent to him recording them as well, because he should have. That's what he should have done. He should have been like,
we don't know. And to be fair, I haven't seen anything.
Texas is a single party consent state, so he was well within his right to do it.
Wow. Sure. Okay.
If they say so, I guess I'll take their word for it. But once again, like I said, I would be careful with consent, right? Be very careful. Don't be cavalier with it. Try to get consent. I don't encourage people to go out there and like just throw themselves at the mercy of the law. Particularly, by the way, if you're in a state that's incredibly woke. Yeah, good luck with that. So that's why I'm just very cautious because people.
Okay, so what would happen in that case, Andrew?
What?
Like if he's not within his rights to.
If he's not within his right, they could be in criminal charge. They could throw him in jail. I mean, it's possible, and depending on what state it is, right, and depending on what the punishments are, depending. on
I think that's the reason why they kicked him out is because they can't call the cops on him at that point. It's like, okay, we're not doing this. Get out of here.
Well,
so they had the security guy throw him out. Yeah.
They're in Texas too, so this is home turf for Alex. He's at home. He knows people there. He's got connections. So this is home turf for Alex. He's going to be fine probably in Texas. Despite
he probably knows the law about it too because he does this shit all the time.
Yeah, so
he does do this shit all the time.
He's got his lawyer on call, right? This is why I say like he's got things hooked up that you probably don't. That's why I don't encourage people to go do this because Alex Stein is doing this because he knows how to do it. He's done it. He's got this. He's got the retainer set. He's ready to go. He's filed lawsuits over this stuff. So, I mean, he's ready.
We're not interviewing. Yeah, what do you mean? So now you're canceling the interview? Yeah. Oh, okay. So this is what it is. A bunch of fake news media. You're a liar. You're a coward. Look at this. They're afraid to let me speak. They're afraid to let me speak. I do what I want. Look, they're kicking me out. This guy he doesn't want to hear me. They don't want to hear what I have to say.
He's running through their office.
Oh, no, Blam! See, y'all laughing. Get off my jacket. Get off my jacket. Get out. Get off my jacket. Get out. Get off my jacket. What are you gonna do about it? Quit touching me. I'm not touching you. I'm not going to elevator with you guys. Listen, the fake news media. The Dallas Morning News. Oh, I'm sorry. So am I. I'm working too, sweetheart. Y'all are pathetic. You guys all are pathetic liars. Propaganda liars. Y'all are pathetic losers. Won't even interview me. I'm the pimp on the blend. Not y'all. Fake news. Dallas Morning. I'm a real pimp. Why don't y'all write that down? Oh, because y'all are all too scared to tell the truth.
Oh my God, he's amazing.
Oh, great.
Oh my God.
Wait, you guys didn't see the CNN one? That was even crazier.
He's inside of CNN?
He's not inside CNN. He's on the street. That one was even crazier, Andrew, because they like literally had to escort him off the street. And I was like, he's in a public area. Like it was so funny though, because they had to shut down filming. Here it is. We're just gonna show it because you guys haven't seen it. I'm sure maybe the chat hasn't seen it.
No,
and this is some next level shit right here. But this
I love it.
Funny. I love him. Calling them out.
You guys won't even cover the real truth. You guys are a bunch of liars, a bunch of frauds. You guys are the real scum of the earth. Yeah, Hunter Biden's a crackhead. CNN, MSNBC, Hunter Biden and Joe Biden do illegal business deals in the Ukraine. Talk about that. Hunter Biden's a crackhead. The news will not cover that. Hunter Biden smoked crack. You guys think it's about all the crack on ABC News? Fake news. Oh, are you part of the fake news too? Yeah, Hunter Biden's a crackhead, guys. Y'all know Hunter Biden smokes crack.
Look at them. They had to shut down.
That laptop was fake. Remember the laptop's real? Remember that laptop's real, guys. Y'all try to hide the laptop's real. So, guys, I'm saying this is a fake news media right here. All they do
Oh
is
my
lie.
God, that's gonna be so uncomfortable for
Great.
them.
It's great. It's
They
fantastic.
100% hear him,
Talk
and they're
about
like,
real
okay, we
news.
gotta
You
shut
guys
this
are all
shit down.
liars. You can't shut down the people. You can't shut down Primetime 99. I'm out.
Shouting himself out.
I'm a real pimp on a blimp, unlike these liars. These people are disgusting. They won't ever talk about Hunter Biden. They don't ever talk about the business deals in Ukraine. But they want to sit here and talk about a misdemeanor bullcrap deal. Talk about the truth. Talk about the truth. You don't talk about the truth. You're all liars. You're pathetic. You cover. You guys cover for a corrupt government. Out here trying to do fake news, not in front of me. No fake news in front of primetime Alex Stein. Not today. No fake news to me. Not when
Oh,
99
God, I love
Alex
it.
Stein's in town. When
I love
come to
it. I
Texas,
love it.
the fake news stops. I'm not going to let it happen on my watch. You guys report on what's really happening. The sex trafficking, the fentanyl crisis. Talk about any Bill Clinton's getting blowjobs in the Oval Office. You guys don't want to talk about that. Hunter Biden sleeping with Ukrainian prostitutes. You don't want to talk about that. If y'all investigate, why don't y'all investigate
You're, by the way, like this stream because Nina's probably going to get in trouble for this. But yeah.
No, this is not my point of view. This is Alex Stein's point
No,
of
but
view.
just for playing it. Just for playing it. You
Who
know.
did Jeffrey Epstein sex traffic people to? Was Bill Clinton on there 26 times? I don't understand. I'm not allowed to stand out here. I love how it's one guy.
just walk.
I'm just saying,
Just
I'm
have
the
to
one
walk.
guy you're bugging.
So here's the see. This is
Okay,
the
I'm
legal
walking.
question again, Andrew.
You guys are fake
Is
news
he
media
within
liars.
his right?
Oh, he was fully
You
within
should
his
be
rights.
ashamed
He's
of
fully within
yourself.
his
I'm
rights.
happy
He's
you
on a
guys-
sidewalk. He's on a sidewalk. They do not have permission to walk on the sidewalk. They do not have permission. That cop is fully wrong there. He has permission to sit there yelling as loud as he wants to. That's their fuck up for deciding to film on the street. That's their
Right,
decision.
because this
He
is
fully within his rights to do that. There's
because
nothing.
this is his right to basically protest, right? Like it's kind of like
Yes.
his right to
peaceful.
freedom of
He's
speech,
not
peaceful
violent.
protest.
He's not violent. They can do whatever they want. If they want to modify their mics, they want to try to blow an air horn back at him, do whatever they want. That's their decision. They do not have the right to be undisrupted there. That cop is actually wrong in that situation. Of course, there's nothing you can do. And in that case,
No.
by the way, I suggest you just walk away and listen. But I mean, I'm saying in terms of rights, the cop is in the wrong there. So, and I guess he could have, if he knew they were going to be there, he could have gotten like an injunction, like some sort of, preliminary injunction to be there or something like that. Yeah, he could have done that, I guess, or declaratory judgment. But, you don't have to go through the court process to do all that crap, just to exercise your rights. He was fully within his rights there, did nothing wrong, committed no crimes.
Wow.
And by the way, you could say, look, arrest me. Like, just the cop be like, arrest me because what am I doing right here? Like,
Right. But
like-
he did what he came in there to do.
Yeah, he
which
got
was
he got his
disrupt
mission.
those motherfuckers.
Right. He got his mission. He was mission accomplished.
Yeah.
I don't think he had to do anything else, to be honest.
No.
So, yeah. I think
Mission
now-
number one: get under their skin.
Yeah.
Mission
Done.
accomplished.
When they shut that
Done.
shit down, it was like mission accomplished. Now, one last thing before we head over to Rumble. And I'm not going to play this whole clip because that's definitely going to get me in trouble and like just get me at least
I thought you were a good girl, not the naughty girl. You gotta behave.
dude. I mean,
here.
look at this. Look at this.
Oh,
What is
God.
this?
Is this
I saw this
no,
clip
no, 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 no.
earlier.
I thought this is a meme. This is real.
No,
This
this is
is
real. This is from the
real.
Mandalorian. Today's episode.
This is the new Mandalorian episode.
I thought this was fake. No, this is real.
I didn't realize Jabba the Hutt was in this episode.
I know. I was
The
like, I didn't
swamp
know
thing?
they freaking the like Jabba the Hutt was gonna be in the Mandalorian.
I don't
Look.
think the hyperdrive has enough power for that one. I'm just saying, like, jeez.
Look, I haven't watched any Disney Star Wars since The Last Jedi. And well, here we are. Like you got
Are
freaking
you?
this dude He's in it.
Doc Brown.
Doc Brown, and then you got freaking like Jack Black. I had a feeling you hated the dialogue in this is
awful,
garbage. Like
But also, to be
believe it.
honest, what do you expect from Disney nowadays? Like, if you expect better, I'm sorry. Like, this is always what you're going to get, right? This is consistently what you're going to get. And I think, like, for me and for a lot of people, it's like, stop hoping they're going to give you something different.
Oh,
like,
I've given up hope years ago.
Yeah. I mean, don't
just
like,
gonna make fun of it.
Yeah, we can mock it, and that's fine. I'm right there with you guys. But like, I have no faith in these guys.
I cannot believe that this is like a Jack Black and freaking Lizzo are a power couple in Star Wars. Like, what is happening? Oh,
Body
God.
positivity.
That's what it is.
God, somebody was like, "Oh, they race swap Jabba." I was like, "I'm dying. I'm dying."
They race swap Java. Yeah.
I was texting with Toxic Man Flu earlier, and he was telling me that Lizzo's in this episode. I was like, "As what? A hut?"
but not far off, apparently.
No,
dude. Andrew, I'm gonna
done. I mean,
put this clip in the private chat.
Okay.
Because you need to watch. You need to watch it to believe it for yourself. I mean, you don't have to watch it right now, but just so you have it. Like,
no,
dude,
I'll watch it, but like,
it's next level. It's so bad. It's so freaking bad.
I mean,
all right.
Abandon all hope.
Yeah. No, have infinite hope. That's my show on Fridays.
No.
Okay.
In them, right?
I know.
Like, this is what I try to say. Like, you know, if you focus on the things you can improve, right? Like yourself, right? You can control yourself, control what you do, what you watch, right? You can control that. There's so much hope. There's so much good stuff out there. There's so much reason to be positive. If you're focusing on them and what they're creating, you're going to get blackpilled really quick.
This is very true. Okay, we're going to get to all these super chats, and then we're going over to Rumble to talk about the adult stuff. Well, wait. That sounded really bad.
That came out wrong.
Nina, are you doing a different type
No,
of
it came out really.
What
it
content
came out,
are you making now?
It came out exactly how I planned it. If you want to hear the adult talk, come and hang out with us on Rumble right after this. So, Bird Up, thank you for the $5. That's all I can say about Wizard of Oz. Is that at most convincing tornado I've ever seen in a movie, and in such an old movie that's impressive.
Yeah.
It was very good. It was very good effects. And also, if you guys haven't checked out Cecil Says's review of The Wizard of Oz, I highly recommend it.
My boy Cease.
It's one of the best reviews I've ever seen. Wolfsbane for $4.99 says Mario isn't inept in my opinion. However, the problem is that the characters needed to go further into their insecurities. Peach had one, but didn't go far enough. Okay, I'm gonna have to judge for myself.
I'll make my own decision whether or not I think it like jumps the shark there with the girl boss stuff.
Russell Hall for $5 says mythology is a collection of stories that influences a culture because people actually believe them. Lord of the Rings is not mythology; it's a story.
No, I see the argument there, but it's supposed to reflect upon us. It's based on and centered on a certain culture, right? It's not. I don't think it was ever intended to be an entire belief, but I think it was meant to be reflective of that culture.
Well, yeah, he created because England did not have a mythology of its own.
No,
right. So yeah, I'll stand by the statement, but I get your point. I see what you're saying there.
Thank you for the super chat, Russell Hall. Oops, I poop my pants for $1.99. Saying this word. Consent. Who needs consent? Oh my God, that's Biden.
Pretty
consent?
much.
Who needs consent? What was that?
I'm gonna go sniff this child now.
That child smells really good.
Sad, but unfortunately true.
Yeah.
Kyle, thank you, Kyle Bogue for $5. Alex Stein is the reason my PC monitors are covered in coffee. Oh, that's funny.
Hilarious.
220 says, "Woo! My favorite lawyer and comics division is on! Yay!"
Stop, Mr. Tickle Trunk.
Russell Hall for
He's
you
awesome.
says, "I'm not sure Jack Black Murphy is age appropriate." Oh,
that's good.
Mr. Tickle Shark for 220 says Jack Black fell on that Lizzo grenade. Total hero. Oh God! Wow.
So as somebody in the squad has to take the grenade, and that is not just a grenade. That's a mortal wound right there.
It is.
Oh my God. And then we had Ingle 626 for 2 says they race swapped the Death Star. Ouch!
It's now the life hole, or whatever, like whatever's the opposite.
Oh my God! And
It's definitely got some gravitational pull.
Wow. Okay. On that note, everybody, we have the link to the Rumbleness is in the description. Come and hang out with us. Russell Hall for $5 says England has a rich collection of mythologies, including the Arthurian legends. That's true. I love
that.
I love the legend of Arthur. It's one of my favorites. And then Toxic Man Flu, thank you for the $2. Says I thought the whales were in hyperspace. Oh my God.
Oh, that's good. I love it.
Good Lord. Okay, we're going to go talk adult stuff now. See you guys in
naughty.
Rumble. Bye, YouTube.
Are you ready? Are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen,